Hi guys, I'm Rose, and as promised, I'm going to show you how I made the cheer bow holder. So let's get started.
Okay, so this is the bow holder that we're going to make. Go ahead and purchase this decorative piece of wood at Michael's. The piece of wood is actually 14 inches by 6 inches, and I believe it was somewhere around $5 to $6. You can also go a little cheaper by going to Lowe's and just purchasing a piece of wood that actually comes cut in different sizes. It might not be as decorative as this one, but it'll still work. I also found these really pretty letters which were already painted and had glitter on them. I found these at Michael's. They also have some plain wooden letters that you can paint any color you need. Now this right here is made with vinyl. I cut the letters with my silhouette cutter. Now for our ribbons, I used 3 different size ribbons. The bottom piece, I used the 2.5 inch ribbon. And I bought this decorative ribbon. You can buy also solid if you wish, and this one is 1.5 inches. Then I bought this really small ribbon, and this is for your loops, which is what holds your bows together, and this one is 3/8 of an inch. You will need some velcro. You want to buy some embellishments. I found these 3 rows of rhinestones in a package at Michael's. You will also need some paint at Lowe's, and it's the Valspar paint and primer, which works on wood, and it's the gloss finish. You will also need your hot glue gun and scissors. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and take your plain piece of wood. If it is not sanded, you want to go ahead and just take some sandpaper, sand it off a little, and then remove the dust. Some of these boards already come pretty smooth, and you can just paint over them. If you're going to go with 2 colors and you have a decorative board like this one, you want to go ahead and use some blue painter's tape and just tape all around your edges so you don't get the other side painted. And you want to take your spray paint and you want to paint your first coat. You want to wait about 30 minutes, then come back and do a second coat. Then you want to wait an hour and then come back and do your edges. And for this one, I didn't have any white spray paint, so I just used the crafter's paint, and I just painted this with a very small brush. I found that it worked a lot better. So then once that dries off, what I did is I just let everything sit overnight. After your paint is dry, you want to go ahead and hammer in whatever you're going to use on the back of your board, and I just went ahead and went with this to hang it. Okay, so next comes your letters. You just want to take each letter and place it on here before you glue them down so that you have them all centered. Take each letter and you're going to glue them with your hot glue gun. You just press them down and your letters are done. You can also spell cheer, your daughter's name, or anything that you can fit on here. Also, for the little cheer letters that I have here, again, I went ahead and used vinyl. If you don't have a cutter, you can just leave those out, or if you have any other type of letters that are this small, you can go ahead and place them on there. Okay, so now we're ready to decorate with our rhinestones. They have other embellishments that you can purchase as well. You can purchase some pearls if you like, and you can place those on there as well. The rhinestones that you buy usually come with an adhesive on the back, but I don't necessarily think it's strong enough. So what I normally do is I add some hot glue. And so I'll take my whole strip, and you want to go ahead and measure it and then cut it to fit all the way across. So I would have cut this piece off. And then I added some hot glue, let's say all the way up to here, and I started setting my rhinestones down. I didn't want to do the whole strip at one time because sometimes the glue will dry pretty quick, and so I just wanted to do it in pieces. So I just put hot glue, placed my rhinestones, and underneath went back and added some more glue, set my rhinestone pieces, and so forth. And I did for top and bottom. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and start working on your ribbon. You want to take your whitest ribbon and you're going to cut two pieces about 24 inches long, or as long as you want your ribbon to be. I went ahead and did 24 inches. And then you're going to take your second whitest ribbon and you're going to cut it the same length as well. 24 inches, or again as long as you want it to be. Then you're going to go ahead and glue your ribbon in the center, and I just went ahead and used the hot glue gun and just put. You can also use the bonding tape where you put like a tape underneath and then you go over it with an iron. You can find that at the fabric store, or I'm sure they probably have it at the craft store as well. But I just found it easier to use the glue gun. So once you have your ribbons all glued together, you're going to take a lighter and go over the ends lightly so that your ribbon doesn't fray. Now, okay, so now that both ribbons are completed, we're going to glue them to the back of your board. So you're going to turn your board over and turn your ribbon around, and just with the glue gun, just glue this underneath. And then just so that it wouldn't look as messy, I just took a piece of my medium-sized ribbon and I just glued this on top. It just makes it look a little neater. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I just went ahead and did that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to work on is we're going to work on these little loops that will hold your bows together. We want to take our small ribbon and you want to measure 3.5 inches, and you're going to cut about 10 strips 3.5 inches long. Okay, and so if you notice, your ribbon will fray. Okay, so you're going to take your lighter and you're going to lightly burn the edges off, just like that, just so your ribbon doesn't fray. And you're going to do this with every one of your ribbons, okay? So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and take a strip of Velcro, and I'm going to use one strip here, and you're going to cut this in half all the way across, and then you're going to cut little square pieces. What you'll do is you'll take the inside of your ribbon, not the decorative side, but the inside, and you're going to take your glue gun and we're going to add a dot of glue on one end. You're going to take the backing of your Velcro, the sticky side, and even though it's sticky, I like to add some glue for reinforcement. And then you're going to glue your Velcro down on this end. Okay? Now we're going to do the same to the other end. You're going to add a dot of glue, and we're just going to pretend that my glue gun is on. It's not, but I'm just trying to show you. Again, your Velcro pieces should be glued to the inside of your ribbon, not your decorative side, okay? The inside of the ribbon. So what we want to do is we want to start at the very top So I already have these glued on there, but I'm just showing you where you want to put your dotted glue. So right at the top, you want to look for the center, take your glue gun, add a dot of glue. Your decorative side is going to be on the bottom, okay? So you want to take your piece, glue it down. You have your piece glued on there. You can close it, just velcro it down, and there's your loop. Now I went ahead and added a single rhinestone on here just to add a little more bling to it. So you can do that as well. My daughter's team seems to use pretty large ribbons. So I wanted to measure, that way I would know how far to go down when I place my second loop. So I went ahead and opened this up, set my ribbon down, closed it, and this gives me an idea how far down to go. Okay, I went ahead and went down 3.5 inches before I placed my second loop. Okay, so you want to go ahead and continue to put all your loops down your ribbon, and I was able to fit 5 on each side, so you'll be able to store a total of 10 ribbons. I know that our girls normally have a lot of bows, so for now I'm hanging up the ones that she uses the most, and the rest we will store in a container until we can find out something else fancier to do. I hope that you enjoyed the video and that I explained it well enough. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.